If you're over 50, you may have heard that less is best when it comes to makeup. And then you're like, well, how do I use less and get the coverage that I want? And that's what I'm here to discuss with you. And I want to show you there's so many different things that we can do with this makeup. This is a cream-based makeup. It's customized to you. It matches your skin tones. This is my palette. Your palette's not going to look like mine. You can even have different sizes. But I'm going to show you all the things that I have found that I love my makeup now more than I ever have. And I'm 55. I got into a point probably in my late 40s. I was just like, I cannot find a makeup that works. I had a subscription that I was getting, like the monthly deals, all that. I was looking for anti-aging, BB cream, CC cream, like anything and everything, because my face had changed so much that I was like, I don't know what to do with this. So I kind of got to where I just wasn't wearing makeup. I had texture. I have a lot of added texture. And what that is like these little fine lines and not so fine. I mean, these aren't fine anymore. Those were fine then. These are not fine anymore. I have bigger pores on my nose. I even have pores next to my nose. I have acne scarring on my chin that you probably really can't see. It's pitted. I have some lines, other things. And because of that, traditional makeup just wasn't working anymore. So I was on the lookout because I like makeup. I wasn't satisfied with not wearing any. I really wasn't. And I was just like, I really want this to work. And I didn't have any idea what I was doing. Totally did not have any idea what I was doing, what I was even looking for. But I saw this girl talking about a color match. And I was like, okay. And this cream-based makeup and mature skin and hooded eyes and all these things. And I was like, okay, she's got my attention. And this appeared. And this right here it's a cream makeup. You can see like you can move them. It's a magnetic compact. But the beauty of this is because of this and the way it is designed and the way it is in my palette, I can pick and choose what I'm going to use depending on the look that I want, my redness, all of that. And I'm going to show you how you, as a mature woman, can use less makeup. Because less is best. That's going to be the number one thing that we're going to find as mature ladies is less is best on makeup. So I'm going to grab my brush here. This is a blend brush. This is a brush that I recommend when we first start. But this is the beauty of this. You can use this for everything that I'm going to do. One brush, one and done, which is so good. If you are here, say hey. If I missed your comment, I apologize. You are so important to me, and I know you're here because you want to be able to wear makeup too. So one of the first things that you can do as a mature lady is look at your face. Oftentimes we were having, hi, oh, thank you. Yes, I think as mature ladies, it's not over. That's all I can say. It's not over. We feel like we get to this point, kids are leaving, parents are aging, all these things are happening. We're getting grandkids or not getting grandkids. And it's a very odd time of life. And the last thing we want to do is feel like, well, that's it. That's it. No more makeup. I'm just going to be ugly for the rest of my life. No, we're not. So the first thing that you can do is when you look at your face, I actually have 2 foundation shades, but I am not going to, hey, South Carolina, I am not going to start with my foundation. I'm actually going to start with bronzer. This is going to be one of the best things that you can do is just warm your face up a little bit. This is a cream bronzer, and I'm going to take a bit and I'm just going to put it where the sun hits me. And so I'm just going to warm things up a little bit. My skin is already prepped and ready with skincare. That's probably going to be right up there with less is best on makeup. Skincare, guys, it is not too late to start on your skin. I did not start until I was probably 50. Probably 50. I don't even think at 49 I was really doing anything. I was really on the search. So skincare is super, super important. I'm prepped and ready. I have my booster spray on, my serum is on, and a little bit of my Biotin oil mist. I did not use this today on my under eyes, but oftentimes when I come on here, I'll use this on my under eyes and get everything prepped and ready and hydrated. And I don't have to do a lot of it because my skincare does what it's supposed to do at night. Okay, bronzer. Now, I have bangs, but a lot of you don't. So you put this on your forehead. You're going to start getting a little bit of dimension. And then we're just going to put a little bit here on my cheeks. And a little bit on there. And then, now my skin is reactive, so it might turn red as they're doing this. And then a little bit here. You can put it all over. Do whatever you want to do that you can create a little bit of warmth to your face. By doing this, you're going to kind of blend things in. Like my redness will get a little bit more blended in. Sometimes I do just bronzer. I don't even put any other makeup on. It'll help blend melasma in. There's so many different things that bronzer can do by adding the darkness first. So then we're going to go in with, now this is my shades, my Saint shades. Is that what you're asking? So it's Bella Bronzer, and then mine is Golden Hour, Hazel, and then I'm using White Peach right now. Sometimes I use Aura. My face, because I have different colors, and like so many of us have different colors on our face, especially when we get mature, I have darker shades here. So I'm actually using 2 main shades. This is a game changer, guys. Not only do I troubleshoot with people that don't have 2 shades, and I'm like, you've got to get a darker shade for your darker areas and your redness, because what ends up happening is you have to put so much of this shade to cover this that you end up adding texture, and you're not following that principle of less is best. So we're going to go into this Golden Hour, and you can use either end, but the main thing you want to do is, if you're using a darker shade on your darker areas, you just want to keep it on the darker areas. Okay, so I'm taking the fluffy end and I'm tapping into it. And you're just going to watch how this blends in, or I can take this end. Either one. Now you see how I'm tapping in several times? Because I'm not going to goober in and just destroy my makeup. I'm using less is best, and I would rather tap in and keep adding it to my face than putting so much on that I've added so much texture that I just defeated what I was talking about. So I'm taking care of any redness that I have on my face, like so. And that'll vary. That's the beauty of this. Let's say you go into winter and you're like, oh, my darker shade might be a little bit too dark. Do a tap of that and a tap of that. Well, it's so good. Okay, so on my chin, you can see, like, see how this is lighter? And see how this is just a little bit pinker? Believe it or not, I still use that darker shade on there, like so. And I'm going to tell you guys at the end of this video, because if you comment it now, I can't send you the link, but I will have you comment on how you can get a color match to this makeup. So, all right, so look at my skin, and you would be looking at yours if you were doing yours, and you're going to be like, is the redness taken care of? Heck to the yeah. I mean, I honestly could put a little bit more bronzer on and we could call it good, but I've used that. Now I am going to do a full face of makeup for you though. So I'm going to take this shade, which is my second main shade. I have my redness covered, and then I'm simply going to put this on the rest of my face, but I'm going to use the least amount as possible because I don't want to add texture, and it's just going to simply even out my skin tone. And I'm still going to get a glow. I'm going to get a really pretty skin-like look when I'm done. I'm not going to look like I have a lot of makeup on because I don't. And then I like to do a dab of my darker and a dab of my main on my nose. Hey, hi. How are you? What's going on? I'm getting ready to go to Costco. I actually love going to Costco, but I always go on Saturdays, and there's like, I don't know, half of the state is there when I'm there, and I do it to myself all the time. Okay, so I have all of my foundation on, and I want you to really look at my skin. Do you see how my skin tone is evened out? We've got a little bit of redness right there that I'm going to take care of. But you see how the skin tone is really evened out except for my under eyes. That's the only thing now that, yes, it's just the only thing now that I'm going to go in and take care of. So just reassess, kind of look, maybe you want to do a little dab here and a little dab there. So I'm going to take this suede lip liner, and I'm going to darken my under eye. I've been teaching this quite a bit lately. I'm just going to take a small end of a brush, and I'm actually going to darken this because you can see it better. We're going to take care of that. You see that darkness right there? You guys can't see it as well as I can. I have blue and green, and they have a lot of purple right there, okay? So what I do is I take my darkest shade that I put on my pink and red, and I take care of this. But to disguise it, I darken the rest of my under eye. So I've been playing around with suede lip liner. I haven't decided that for sure is going to be my shade, but I felt since I was getting lighter going into the fall here that Bella was looking a little dark. I can help you with this if you're needing help. So we're darkening this to blend in the darkness. I know, what in the crap, but I promise you it is amazing. So see how I darkened that? and how it blended that in. It is amazing. All right, hang on. I got to take care of this redness. It's driving me crazy. So I tapped a little bit of my normal shade on and a little bit of my brightener over it, and it'll take care of it. Okay, so yes, isn't that just, it's amazing. And then I'm getting better at this. So I darken this, right? And I'm staying just like, it's like a bag. Like I have a lot of sinking in. So it's like a kind of like a bag. And I just put that suede on there minimal. Remember, everything I'm doing is less is best. So if you feel like you get too much, take your fingernail or finger and do that. But what I do then is I'll assess and look right here. Still light, and it's light right there. This is when you can fine tune, and this is when I really need my spot brush. This is when you can do a little fine tuning. Don't expect to do this when you first start doing this. And then I just darken that. So it can be as easy or as complicated as you want it to be. It's just, that's what I like doing. I like, the more I do this, the better I get at it. Okay, so then I'm going to go into and just take care of that purple and the blue and the green. And that's my darkest highlight shade. So I'm just going to tap a little bit. Remember, a little bit. Our under eyes is good. That is going to be your most paid attention to area, because it truly is the area that moves around the most. It truly is. Now, I'm going to say something else here that I want you guys to know. You do not have to use a primer. Maybe you do with the makeup you're using here, but you with this makeup, you do not have to use a primer. I promise you. The least amount that you can put underneath your skin. This is a very hydrating makeup, so I use very little underneath the makeup. I really, truly do. I let all my skincare do its work at night. Today I did something a little extra. I typically put one thing on my face and then some things on my under eyes, and that is it. Hello. Are you from Slovakia? Is that what you're saying? Hello. What's going on? All right, so we've taken care of the under eyes. And then I'm going to contour today. I don't always contour. I feel like when you're at 55, one of the last things I want you to worry about if you're new to this makeup is contouring. Just bronze, get your application down, and then let's move into contour. It's totally okay. So I use the color Indigo, and I'm just going to take the dense end of this brush. And then as a mature lady, I contour differently than those youngins out there can do. So we're going to take about from the corner of the eye, because if I bring it way forward, I'm going into this little dip right here where my jowls are at, and we don't want to do that. I stay out of my temples with my contour also. You can contour your forehead. I'm simply going to do my cheekbones to get a little bit of lift. Contour, you're playing with light. That's all you're doing, and you're putting a little bit of a shade, a darker shade here, and you're going to chisel out your features that just aren't so chiseled anymore. So it's a good thing to contour as a mature woman, but don't get hung up on it when you first start. It's exciting. I remember when I very first ordered this makeup, I was so excited to contour. I'd never done it. Never had I ever contoured my face. I didn't know how. And so I was so excited, but I would, again, let's take little bites as we go. Okay, so see how that just kind of add a little bit of something, a little bit of lift and definition to my cheeks. And then we're going to put on my blush. So I have all kinds of colors here that I love. This is Sandstone. This is a color that just escaped my brain. Now I'm going to show you, because I have menopausal brain. Hi. Because I have menopausal brain, I'm going to show you how to pop these out. So you can take any kind of tool. You could take a lid from the tins. This is my eyelash thingy. You can take it out and hope you can read it. This is Rosewood. I'm actually going to put it on. I did a really fun eyeshadow fall look, and it just kind of goes with it. So I'm going to take, this is a satin. I like applying in the beginning with my fingers, especially if you're new. I feel like just feel where that cheekbone is and start in the back. Just start back here. Don't start in the front. So many of us start in the front. Our apples are not so apple-y anymore. For a lot of us, some of us, you still have a nice full apple. But to get the lift that you're going to want to get, start in the back, tap it on. You can use your brush and go up to the temple just a little bit. I don't know why. I struggle putting on blush on. So I just have found if I start the process out with my finger, I just have better luck. So stupid. I mean, how long have I been doing makeup? Then I might put just a little bit on the brush, and then I'm going to bring a little bit forward, but I don't want to take away from that. See how it's lifting me up? Everything that I do the least amount as possible, and I'm going to create lift and dimension. Every single thing that I do in my makeup is creating lift and dimension, because I'm losing my lift and my dimension. As a matter of fact, as older people, we have dimension all over the dang place. I have dimension here around the jowl. I have these marionette lines. You know what I mean? That's dimension. I don't want to accent that dimension. I'm going to take away from it. So let's use the same brush. I often use a smaller brush for the next thing that I'm going to do, which is brightening, but we're going to change that. We're going to say lifting. We're going to lift our faces, and we're going to take a lighter shade. This is my third highlight foundation shade. You guys, maybe you would have called them a highlighter, but this is a brightening shade. And I'm going to show you some really strategic places to put this shade that you're going to create even more lift for your face and a little bit of dimension. So I'm going to tap the most minimal amount, and I'm going to start from the top of my face, and I'm going to kind of move down, if that'll help you to remember. Hello. So I'm going to put it above the arch of my brow, like that. Okay. Then I'm going to take it, and I'm going to go from the corner of my eye out to the tail of my brow. You want minimal here because we got a whole lot going on right here, right? We got some major crow's feet. So let's just go like that, and we're going to go into the temple. And I'm going to leave the streaks, okay? Like so. Like that. See the lift? See the lift already? The angels are singing right now. I just get so excited. Okay, you can do next to your nose, like we have our normal brightening area for like really young people. It's like right here. It's like this inner part and this outer part. We just have to adjust just a little bit. And your face is different than mine. I have a lot of lines, a lot of deepness going on, a lot of activity. So I am careful on where I put brightener, because brightener's lifting and it's bringing forward. It's making you look at that spot. Okay. If there's a light spot, your eye is drawn to it. So that's what we're doing. So I'm going to put it a little bit right here next to my nose, right there. And then I'm going to put a little bit here underneath the contour, like so. And then my favorite spot to brighten, jowls. We got this going on, right? So we're going to take it right there. Little bit, remember? Little bit. You can always add more. And now let's just blend this in. I might have to take my fingers on this a little bit. Okay, we've created a little bit of lift above there. This is a bigger brush than what I typically use. We're going to blend this one. This one's gold. If you have a really deep crow's feet, or it just draws attention to your crow's feet, because, you know, you smile. These lines, we've smiled and frowned our whole dang lives. So if it accents that, like right there, use your normal shade. Just don't use the lighter shade, and that's okay. You're cleaning up that eyeshadow, and you're creating still some lift. Okay, and then this, I'm going to bring it up to the side of my nose, and I have to be really careful right here. Because if I get messing around right in here, I'm going to accent these lines. So for me, I'm just really careful. Right here. Okay. And then I'm just going to start feathering around and create a little bit of an apple to my cheek than I have. So I'm going to take that color. Remember, I had a dot here and I have a dot here. And I'm simply, think of that cheekbone that people have. Think of that cheekbone that people have and I don't have. And so I'm just simply going to frame it out. Okay, I don't like how light that is right there. So I'm taking a little bit of my darker shade and darken that up. But this light right here, all it's doing is drawing attention to it. If I put a whole lot of brightener in the wrong area, your eye is going to go right to it, okay? So that's what we don't want to do. Fingers are great with this makeup, with the cream makeup. You can also use a sponge, and we're just carved that out. All right, honestly, we're like almost done. You can take it down the center of your nose like that. You can put it, again, these are all suggested areas. This one's a must. This one you have to do. This one, at least clean up your eyeshadow. Underneath there, this one's like a must. You just have to do that one. If you have jowls, you have to do that one. This area, I feel like, is really an area you can play with. You don't have to do it. Again, down the nose. We want a thin strip line. This brush a little big. But here, I have really big pores. Can you see them? See those pores? And so many of us have really deep 11s right there. So you can skip the brightener right there. I mean, you don't have to do it. Or take it up a little bit. Up in here. Okay. Look at that lift. It's so good. So good. Oh, I missed a bunch. Okay. And then that's it, honestly. That is the way, as a mature 55-year-old woman, I use the least amount of makeup. And look at me. Do I look like I have a bunch of makeup on? No. Do I look like I have some makeup on? Absolutely. Do I have coverage that I want? Yes. Do I have lift and dimension? That is my focus. I want lift and I want dimension. And that's what I've gotten. I've gotten that with my eyes and I've gotten that with my makeup. So I'm going to tell you what you can do to get a match to this makeup. I'm going to do it at the very, very end, which means some people are probably not even going to hear it, but you can, when I post this video, not right yet, when it's still live, just say match me and I can match you to this makeup and you can get started. All right. Thank you. You're so sweet. All right. See you guys.